The riot, you the GOAT, boy.
RT, you good, bro?
Benzion, you the man. I've been doing this here, man.
Crazy coming back, he crack the sky, he come with fire. Babylon, yeah, it gotta burn, yeah, with fire. Damn, where you read that at? It's in the Bible. I tell you what you're afraid of, a black messiah. Crazy coming back, he crack the sky, he come with fire. Babylon, yeah, it gotta burn, yeah, with fire. Damn, where you read that at? It's in the Bible. I tell you what you're afraid of, a black messiah. Christ, he coming back to save his people from the enemy. The same people stole us, then they sold us to the enemy. Came on a slave ship, shackles on my damn arm, yokes around my neck, on my feet, so I couldn't run. Me, shack.
Where you see yourself on this sign? Judah, right? So, you know, the so-called Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Dominicans, Seminole Indians, Mexicans, all us the same people. Because we come from the same man called Israel, right? Or Jacob, but his name was changed to Israel. So, now, this is Moses talking to these people right here. Read.
On this side, Jordan.
Nah, read. Go to 28 and 1. So check this out, Wyman. This some you gotta listen though, cause you know us as a people we got a short attention span. So you gotta pay attention. Listen to the words that he reading, and listen to me explain it, and then I'm gonna ask you questions.
Okay.
All right, read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
So that means it shall come to pass. That means it's gonna happen in the future. Wyman, read.
If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So
he talking to them people right there. So them people on that sign, are they above all nations on the earth?
Yes, sir.
Today,
no sir.
In 2023.
No, sir.
We on the bottom, right? All them people right there, we the ones in the ghetto, in the hoods, right, in the projects. All them people right there. You see what I'm saying? Right. So how did we get there? It's a flip side to that. So he said, why did he say he was, how did he say he was going to set us high above all nations if we do what?
Listen to him.
And do what? Read it again for him.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So, we got to do what to be set on high?
Follow all the commandments.
Follow all the commandments. Because you know, he didn't give the commandments to everybody. Hold that. Get me, that is a song. Because he didn't give the commandments to everybody. He only gave it to these people. So then this going, remember what I'm telling you, because later on, it's going to fall in place. Everything going to fall in place. Okay, why?
Book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
So, who is Jacob? What his name was changed to? Israel, right?
Right.
So he showed his Bible to Jacob. Read.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
So his statutes and the judgments for them, not keeping them statutes to Israel. Read.
He have not dealt so with any nation, and as far as his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So now, he only gave the commandments to these people. So ain't you ever wondered why we went into slavery? Why we getting shot down in the street?
Okay.
So I told you, he said if we keep the commandments, he was going to set us on high, right? So go to verse 15, 28 and 15. So check this out, Wham.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So is a curse a good thing or a bad thing, Wham? A bad thing. So he said all these bad things was going to happen to his chosen people if they don't keep the commandment. Jump up to verse 46. Check this out, Wham. So this is how you know who he talking to. Read.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So these bad things was going to be upon the children of Israel for a sign. So what do a sign do? How you know that sign is liquor store? By the sign, right? So he said these bad things was going to be on his chosen people so you can know who the Israelites are in these last days. Okay? Read.
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So he said these curses were going to be upon us forever for not keeping his commandments. Okay? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So in the city you go to, and go to the hood, and go to the ghetto, what people you find there?
Black people.
All them people on that sign, right? Like you go up in New York, you go to the hood, you go to the project, you find Puerto Ricans, blacks, Dominicans, you see what I'm saying? You go to California, you find blacks, Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? We cursed in the city. That's a curse. But we look at it as normal, right? Because if you want to find your people, that's where you go, right? To the hood. You ain't gonna go up on Lookout Mountain looking for your people, is you?
No.
Because them the other people, right? Read.
Verse 17.
Hold up, now read verse 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
So when did that happen, Wyman? When our sons and daughters were given to another race of people, and there was no power in our hands to get our children back. They came and took our children.
1500s.
I'm talking about, what was that called?
Slave trade.
Slavery, right?
Right.
So slavery is in the Bible, Wyman. Read verse, what?
30. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her.
So when did that happen, Wyman? When another man came and took your wife and raped her.
Slavery.
Slavery, right? But what people that's talking about? Who? It didn't happen to but one people. Who that happened to?
Black
Right. Us, right? So I'm reading our history to you out the Bible.
people. That's right.
Have a preacher ever did that?
No, sir. No,
Could they preach this in the Christian church?
No.
They couldn't, right? They wouldn't have no people in there. But this is the truth. This is the truth. Read verse 47. See, look at this. You see that? You see that? That's an actual picture, bro. You know how long it took to get all that on his back? You see what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
So he said, since we don't want to serve him and keep his commandments, which he gave us, only gave us He didn't give it to everybody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He said, since we don't want to serve him, we're going to serve our enemies. Read. How we going to serve our enemies? Read.
In thirst and in nakedness.
Hold over. Start over.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
So when you hungry, what's some places you get food from?
When you're hungry.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about stores and restaurants. Bilo.
Yeah.
Who own Bilo?
Some European.
Right.
Right.
Our people don't own that, right?
Right.
Where else? Name some restaurants.
Big River.
Big River. Crystals.
Crystal.
Captain D's.
Right.
Do we own these places?
Nope.
So he said we're going to have to go to our enemy for food. Is that true?
That's true.
Read.
And in thirst.
In thirst. Water fall free from the sky, right?
Right.
But if you don't pay your water bill, who gonna turn your water off?
EPB. Put a plug on it.
Who is that? What people is that?
European.
Right. Your enemy, right?
Right.
Read.
And in nakedness.
In nakedness, clothes. Levi. Who own that?
European.
Louis Vuitton.
Ooh, European.
Gucci.
Ooh.
All the stuff our people like to wear, right?
Right.
Who own that? Our enemy, right?
Right.
Read.
And in want of all things.
In want of all things. In want means in lack of all things. So if you want an education, who you got to go to?
European.
European.
Right.
If you want a birth certificate, who you got to go to?
European.
You want a death certificate, who you got to go to?
European. Right. That's right.
If you want some toilet paper to wipe your ass, Wyman, who you got to go to?
Family Dollar. European.
If you want to learn about this Bible, who you got to go to? Like, if I want to become a preacher, where I got to go? Seminary school, right?
Right.
Who run that?
European.
Right. So in want of all things, you can name anything. You got to go to them.
Right.
Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So you know what a yoke of iron is?
I can imagine.
This right here.
Oh man.
Who put that on our neck?
Oh man, European.
In slavery, right?
Right.
So you reading about yourself,
Right.
your ancestors, in the Bible, Wyman. Have you ever heard this? You ever heard this brought out the Bible?
Yeah.
Did you know it's talking about you?
Right.
Did you know? You haven't, right?
The first time I did it. First time.
I guarantee you, ain't no preacher ever taught you this.
Right.
So check this out. How did we get over here, Wyman?
Slave trade.
I'm talking about what form of transportation?
Oh, shit.
Ships. Did you know that was in the Bible?
I ain't know that.
So
Run that.
what I'm reading to you is the curses, the bad things that are going to happen to the children of Israel because of what?
Not listening to the Lord.
And doing what?
Not following the commandments.
Not following the commandments.
Okay. All right.
But it's just going to happen to us, right?
All right.
So check this out. Read verse 68. And read it slow.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So hold up. So Egypt, you know what Egypt is? It ain't talking about the land, but it's talking about the land spiritually. But check this out. This is what Egypt means. Read that.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So what did he call Egypt?
House of bondage.
House of bondage. What's another word for bondage that start with an S?
Slavery.
Slavery, right? So now you know what Egypt means.
Oh.
So read that again from the beginning.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Or Egypt or what?
Bondage.
Or what?
Slavery.
Slavery.
Right.
Again. Now how did we get over here? Boats. Check this out.
with ships.
So he said, if we didn't keep his commandments, he was going to bring us back into slavery like we was in Egypt with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
He said the same way he said it, it happened, right? The same way Moses said it, it was going to happen. It happened, right? Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And we weren't going to see Egypt no more again. We're going to be in spiritual Egypt, which is America. Read.
And there,
when you get off them ships, Wyman,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen,
slave men,
and bondwomen.
So he said, when you get off them ships, you're going to be sold. Who we were sold to when we got off them ships?
To America.
Who was we sold to? What people? Europeans, but what he called them? Read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Because your friends don't put you in slavery and rape your wife and sell your children, right? Read.
For bondmen,
For slave men,
and bondwomen.
because I don't know what the black woman think these days. They was in slavery with us. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
So it says, no man shall buy you. That word buy is an old Quaker word that means to save or redeem. He said no man was going to be able to save you out of that slavery. Because who tried? Malcolm X tried, right?
Right.
Martin Luther King tried, right?
Right.
Marcus Garvey tried, right?
Right.
So he said no man was going to be able to redeem you or save you out of that slavery, but who? But who?
Most High. I don't know.
Give me Luke 1:68.
Luke 1:68.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he have visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us.
For us. Read.
In the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
So who we going to be saved from?
Our enemies.
And who is our enemies?
White man.
Right. Read.
And from the hand of all that hate us.
So it ain't only the white man, but he the number one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Why?
Right.
Give me Psalms 83. Cause he ain't the only one, but he the number one. He the number one enemy. You see what I'm saying? But all the other nations that ain't on that sign had us in slavery.
Right.
I mean, from the Japanese to the Arabs, Chinese, all of them had a hand in our captivity. He gonna bring it out. Read.
Starting at 1.
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So God got enemies. So if they got enemies, who else enemies is it? His children, right? Us. And we God's children. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
So we the hidden ones, because we don't know who we is. We calling ourselves American blacks, West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. We hid. They done hid us. They done changed our name. They conquered and divided us. They say you a Mexican, you a African American. But really, we all the children of Israel. Read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So you don't even remember that you're an Israelite, right?
Right.
But what that's telling you, the Bible a true book, Wyman.
Right.
Read.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
So all of them came together. So everybody know who we is but us. They consulted together to keep that from us. Read.
They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom.
Edom, that's the so-called white man.
And the Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites, that's the Arabs.
Of Moab.
Moab, that's the Chinese.
And the Hagarenes.
Hagarenes, that's the real Africans or Hamites or Nilotic tribes. Read.
Gabal and Ammon and Amalek.
So Ammon, that's the Japanese. Amalek, that's the so-called Jewish people. The fake Jews. Now we the real Jews. Give me that. In Jeremiah 14. What color are the Jews? When I ask you about the Jews, who you think about? What come in your head?
White folks.
Them white folks with the little curly cues and with the black hats?
The black, yeah, them people.
Well, why you think they call themselves Jewish? Like, if I said you was acting childish, do that mean you a child? Or you acting like a child?
Acting like a child.
So they acting like they us. They wish they was us. Read that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 2.
Okay, before you read this, you know, Jew is short for what tribe you come from?
Judah.
Judah.
Okay, all right.
So, Jew is short for Judah. So this is going to tell you what color the Jews are. Read.
Verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
So Judah, we in mourning, right? We the ones on the bottom. We the ones in poverty. We the ones getting shot down in the street. We the first fired, last hired, right? So we in mourning. Read.
They are black unto the ground.
What color are the Jews?
They are black unto the ground. And
So the Jews are black. You hear that? It ain't no such thing as a white Jew. That's why they call themselves Jewish and Israeli. You can't find Israeli in the Bible because Israeli means they live in that land, our land. You see what I'm saying?
All right.
So why did all this happen to us? Give me Amos 3:1. Why did all this happen to us, Wham? What I told you from the beginning. What we didn't do.
Didn't follow the commandments.
Didn't follow the commandments.
Okay.
Check this out. Read.
this is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
That's you, Wyman. That's all them people on that side. Read.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
You hear that, Wyman? He said, he only know us. He only love us. Read.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So he said he gonna punish us for our iniquity. Just like if you got children and your children go and do something against what you taught them, is you gonna punish their friends too? Or you just gonna punish your children?
Punish your children.
Right. So that's why we getting punished.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example.